So many times I have talked to moms who have said, oh yeah, I wish I could have gone back and done things differently, or maybe I should have asked what was going on or why that happened or why I was feeling this way. Now we can and we will. Hey everyone, and welcome to Entering Motherhood, a podcast dedicated specifically to new moms going through this amazing journey in life. I'm your host, Sarah Bilger, a postpartum nutritional coach / mechanical engineer, and I'm so excited to be here with you and share all of the information I have been lucky enough to obtain since becoming a mom. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, The Birth of Entering Motherhood, and here we go. Okay, so here we are, our first official episode of Entering Motherhood. This has been something I have been planning for quite some time, and I am just so excited that this moment is actually occurring. I truly have been on such an amazing journey since having my little girl Rosie back in August of 2019. She just turned 16 months old, and she has seriously been moving and grooving and just absolutely loving life. Having her caused me to reevaluate my own life and think deeply about what I'm doing, what information is out there, and overall just discovering who I am. I'm here to help explain everything that I'm experiencing while entering motherhood and to provide insight on what it can be like for some moms to become a mom. Everyone has their own journey and own experiences, and every child is just so unique in their own individual existence. These past few weeks since reaching out to people and finding people to be on the show, gathering information together, and just making this become a reality has been so overwhelmingly thrilling. And I am just so passionate about this and excited about how everything is just unfolding. So you may be wondering how I went from mechanical engineer to postpartum nutritional coach to podcast host. And here I'm working on holding all of this together while being a mom and a wife and so much more. And honestly, I'm still wondering the same thing too, but we're making it happen and I'm loving every single moment of it. So here we go. I was the traditional 9-to-5 working woman before getting pregnant with Rosie. Even while I was pregnant, I was convinced that nothing would change, and I was doing great during my whole pregnancy. And since I was at my job for less than a year, I knew I was only getting the allowed 6 to 8 weeks off for maternity leave, but that didn't faze me at all. We had gone and picked out a daycare. We had a plan in place. We were set. And, we were on a path for me to be that typical working mom. And that's how it was going to go. And that's what we knew. And we were ready. And, going back to work was certainly rough, but it was manageable. I worked right across the street from Rosie's daycare. This is something that we planned because I was going to be breastfeeding, and it just made the most sense, and it was a great place. So we were right across the street from her daycare, and I would go over there during my lunch to feed her and then pump while I was at work and not with her, so I could send milk to the daycare. And it was long days, but having that break in the middle was just super sweet and made things just a little bit easier. And we, slowly transitioned to her moving up to the toddler class and having me not go over to see her. And we can totally talk about my breastfeeding journey in another episode because that is a long story in itself. But yeah, work was pretty awesome. And I got to sit next to a friend that had a daughter that was only a few months older than Rosie. And it was then that I realized how valuable it was to have somebody to talk to that was going through a lot of the same things that I was experiencing, but they were only just a few months ahead. And having a person be in that similar time frame of motherhood was great because we were able to relate on so many levels. And so much changes so quickly. Baby time is so different than real life adult time. Babies can literally grow overnight, and there is no slowing them down. So this also means that us moms are changing rapidly too. Hormones go haywire, and there's just so much physically going on with our bodies. It's honestly hard to keep up with. So there I was at this point, about 6 months postpartum, and I was crying on my bedroom floor to my husband, saying, I have absolutely no idea who I am, and I don't know what I am or who I am other than Rosie's mom. And I felt like I was losing touch with just who I was, and I wasn't sure who I even needed to be. And I don't know about you, but this needed to be fixed. I'm an engineer, for crying out loud. If there's a problem, we solve it. Simple as that, right? Wrong. Motherhood is not something that needs to be fixed. We can't just do something and magically the problem is solved. There's some serious work that needs to be done, but it's so beneficial. And that's what I've been set out to do since that moment that I broke down and felt so lost. I'm curious about so much, and I'm so ready to explore what there is out there and everything that comes with becoming a mom. I want to be there for my daughter and hopefully more kids to come, but I also just want to be there for myself, and I want to find out who I am and what I want and what I need. So I want to discover all that there is out there to help women during this postpartum period. And so I'm inviting you along with me. We're taking this journey together to dive deeper into postpartum, and we're answering questions that come up along the way. My hope is to encourage other moms out there to realize that these things that we're going through don't need to be something that we just shrug off and deal with, and it's just what comes with being a mom, right? No, we don't need to lose ourselves, but instead just discover the newer versions of ourselves that we have now become. I like to believe that every time a child is born, the mother is reborn as well. Her life has permanently changed, and a whole new world is discovered in these moments. The process of entering motherhood has been the most stressful, challenging, and beautiful experience that I have ever lived through thus far, and I am so ready to continue on this path. I can't wait to have you join me as we continue on this journey of entering motherhood. And so essentially, we have a few episodes that I have already been working on with some people that I have personally met during, the end of my pregnancy or during this postpartum period. And honestly, it has been amazing just learning about everything that's going on with myself. And I can't wait to share some of the knowledge that I've obtained since taking my postpartum nutritional coach certification and just diving into all of this. What we fuel our body with is directly related to so much of what we're experiencing. And there are little things that we can do, and just being curious about life and everything that we're going through makes such a difference. I want this to be a space that moms can come to and know that they are safe, and that no matter what their experience has been, will be, whatnot, it is perfectly normal. I think there is a lot of information out there, and there is a lot of judgment associated with how you need to raise your kids and how you need to be and what looking like a mom is. And I hope that I can bring a different approach to what's out there and what people are experiencing, and provide you with confidence and empowering people just coming on the show that are there to offer you different options and different perspectives and different moments of being a mom and where they've been and what they've done. We have episodes with doulas and, just your normal everyday mom. We have episodes with a chiropractor and how you can work on your posture and how that can relate to even breastfeeding. I want to focus so much on what's going on with you as a mom and how your body is transitioning through this new way of life also. So much of the time there is a focus on what baby's doing, how baby's sleeping, what baby's eating, and formula versus breastfeeding, and oh, are they sleeping through the night yet, blah blah blah. Like, what about you? What about the mom? And I don't want you to feel selfish about that, because honestly, I have learned that if you don't take care of yourself first, it is almost impossible to be taking care of those around you, and especially a little baby that deserves so much attention and love. And so I really want this to be a space that you as a mom can feel strong and confident in themselves and be ready to take on anything that comes at you. And I hope that these stories are inspiring, and these words of advice and tips and tricks are only there to help you. And if you're ready to go on this journey, I am ready to take you along, and let's just see where this goes and see what is out there and what we can experience and explore, and what we can really accomplish when we put ourselves out there and we take that step forward and we get curious and we ask the questions that we wish we would have asked. So many times I have talked to moms who have said, oh yeah, I wish I could have gone back and done things differently, or maybe I should have asked what was going on or why that happened or why I was feeling this way. Now we can, and we will. I hope you will let me take you on this roller coaster experience and just dive into postpartum like we never have before. So, thank you. Well, this wraps up yet another episode of Entering Motherhood. I hope that you have found this episode helpful, and if you liked it, please share it with others who might also benefit from this information. If there's anything that you'd like to know more about, or maybe you know someone who'd like to be on the show, please visit my website, enteringmotherhood.com. I'm so thrilled to be going on this journey with you and getting the amazing opportunity to help moms during this postpartum experience.